Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me, especially because like it's like a pattern here. You know what I mean?
It's clothing.
Right, not fur. But there, it's up here too.
Please state your name and spell it for the record.
Lieutenant Aaron Latourette, spelled A-A-R-O-N, Latourette, L-A-T-O-U-R-E-T-T-E.
And your affiliation?
I'm a lieutenant at the New Canaan Police Department.
Thank you.
With respect to May 24th, 2019, drawing your attention to that day in particular, what shift were you working?
The evening shift, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m.
And again, in uniform?
In uniform, yes.
Did you work with any other officers that day?
Yes,
Any other officers that had a body cam on?
yes. Officer Matt Blank, he was working 3 to 11 shift with me. He was wearing a body camera.
Now, did you have occasion to respond to 69 Wells in Wells Lane, I should say, in New Canaan that night?
Yes.
Why did you respond there?
The police department had a report, a complaint of a missing person at that address.
Who was the missing person?
Jennifer Dulos.
Where were you when you heard the report of the missing person?
I was in the police department. I walked up to the dispatch center. Officer Kelly Coughlin was on the phone with a caller or complainant. It was the babysitter for Jennifer Dulos. And Officer Coughlin kind of alerted my attention and said, hey, why don't you listen in? She put the phone on speaker.
You can answer, sir.
The caller stated that Jennifer did not go to a doctor's appointment in New York City and that she was missing. And given the information that Kelly Coughlin, our dispatcher, got at that time, Matt Blank, Officer Matthew Blank, and myself responded to 69 Wells Lane to check that property to see if we could find Jennifer.
What type of area is 69 Wells Lane?
It's a residential area, and that street is a dead-end cul-de-sac.
Do you recall around what time you went there?
Approximately 7 p.m.
Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
I do, yes.
What is it?
It is overhead camera view of 69 Wells Lane in New Canaan.
Your Honor, may I ask Lieutenant Latourette to approach the screen and ask some questions at that point? Thank you, sir, if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. Now, you indicated you responded to 69 Wells. Is 69 Wells Lane depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
Could you please point to it?
It's this residence here. The end of the cul-de-sac is here, and the driveway comes up to the residence, which is here.
Now, when you arrived at 69 Wells Lane, was it dark out?
No, not yet.
How would you describe it?
Daylight, you can see.
Okay. Were you looking for anything in particular?
We are looking for Jennifer Dulos, the missing person.
And what did you do?
Officer Blank and myself went to the front door. We rang the doorbell, we knocked on the door, and there was no answer.
And again, I'm going to refer you to the screen behind you, sir. And if you can take a look, if you can, please, do you recognize what's depicted on that screen?
Yes.
Could you please describe what that is?
That is a view of 69 Wells Lane from the bottom of the driveway, looking up the driveway at the residence.
And is that what Wells Lane looked like that night when you responded?
Yes.
Now, you indicated it wasn't dark, it was still light, you could see. Is that the time of day depicted
Yes.
accurately? When you arrived that day after you knocked on doors, did you go anywhere else on the property or anywhere depicted in these photographs?
Yes, Officer Blank and I did walk the perimeter of the residence to see if we could see anybody inside, to see if any looked like anybody was home. We then returned to the driveway where the garage doors were, and we were provided a code to the garage door by the complainant, the babysitter, and we used that code to enter the garage.
How did you do that?
We were provided a garage code from the babysitter. Officer Coughlin provided that garage code to Officer Blank and myself. We entered that garage code into the keypad, and the garage door opened.
Sir, states 1, picture 7. If you can take a look behind you, please. Thank you. What is depicted on that photograph, please?
That is a picture of the garage. It was a 3-car garage. In the center bay of that garage was a black SUV. And it also depicts the keypad that we used to open that garage door.
Did the other garage bays have keypad access?
They did not know.
Now, as you entered the garage, what did you see?
The black SUV pictured, and it had a New York registration plate. While we waited, I looked at the vehicle and noticed that there was what appeared to be red blood on the front of that vehicle.
Can you please describe what you saw?
A red mark on the grill area of the vehicle. And again, it drew my attention because it didn't match the color of the grill, didn't match the color of the vehicle.
Was there any damage to the vehicle?
No, we did not. We looked at the vehicle, did not observe any damage. Initially, Officer Blank and myself discussed it possibly could be a deer strike in the roadway. And again, there was no hair, there was no damage indicating any such collision with a deer.
Now, Officer Blank was with you during this time period?
Yes,
And was it your testimony that Officer Blank had a body cam on?
yes.
Task 3 to Three. Alright, I've located that vehicle. It is parked on the side of the road on Lapham, approaching Talmadge. I have a secondary plate for you to run when you're ready. Connecticut.
I think it's talking about ours, but you never know. No. It has a Chevy Suburban, there's a Chevy Cherokee.
Go with the wedge. Connecticut 1, Alpha Juliet, Mike Uniform, Oscar, 1 HA, NUO.
Showing that on a blue Mini Cooper,
See the rings here?
registered to us. Baggers from out of the area.
What we could.
Receive, can you send me a mark unit, check on this vehicle? It appears unoccupied at this time. That is Connecticut, Alpha Juliet 69099. That is the vehicle, correct?
Affirmative, Alpha Juliet 69099, yes.
We're down the car, we'll just check.
That was
remain on scene behind the vehicle now. Okay, that is
Proceed, you said you're on Lapham? Was that near the Merritt or more towards Waving?
more
Yeah.
towards
in the car.
Yeah.
by the lumberyard.
It could be a deer, but it's strange.
It was wiped at some point, but dried first. Dry edges, blood center. Yeah, when he just called in, he had a lot of scuffing.
Headquarters to settle.
There's some back here too. Is there? Yeah, down here too. Strange.
Take pictures, I'll call the other team.
Headquarters to 13 or 70. 13. Well, can I have one of the units break? Staff relocated the vehicle on Lapham. We'll both be clear momentarily. We'll see 2015. We on Lapham near America.
Can I verify that was our plate? On the lower portion of the car, and looks like it's been buffed or scraped or scratched all down through the driver's side. Oh, all right. Well, we're taking pictures and then we'll be out of here.
Good enough.
And then we'll meet up with the captain on Lapham.
Roger that, thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, it's just strange in connection with the fact that we've got a missing person, or potentially a missing person. You know? Yeah, scrapes on this side too, but there's no blood near them, so whatever they hit went down this side of the vehicle. Splattered all. Yeah. It's hard to get a picture of because the flash on this thing isn't working, I guess. He said it's unoccupied.
Last gonna go.
Staff 3, just confirming that vehicle is unoccupied.
Alright, there you go. Alright, there's some in the tire too.
Proceed. If you like, I can request the dog to do a track. I have 13 and 7.
All over there. Man.
Received. I'll leave that at their discretion.
It's all blood. Alright.
13 at headquarters. Affirmative. See if we can get a K9. And before we leave here, if you want anything, we might need for a track.
Her jacket's in her purse.
As long as you can make access, you'll be able to track right off the driver's seat.
Let's grab that key.
Yep, good idea. I thought he said he came back to a Mini
The
Cooper.
thing is saying that there might be an extra key in that Suburban in the residence, if possible.
That's affirmative. We're grabbing the key. The residence is cleared. We'll be en route to Lapham.
Received. I'll put on the hotline so we can locate a cannon.
The car's straight.
Yeah, it doesn't sit well with me, especially because like it's like a pattern here. You know what I mean?
It's clothing.
Right, not fur, but there. I mean, it's up here too. It's hard to get any of this. These cameras are. We should get better cameras. Hopefully, this is getting it though. Right? Usually, if you hit a deer and there's blood in your car, you take it to the car wash and get it cleaned. Especially a Range Rover.
Scrapes here. Let's see if there's any damage. Suburban? I mean, this is grandma's car, so you never know, but scripts there.
Get your camera out, get your light out of here. Wash my pictures out. All right.
You can answer, sir.
So the babysitter, Lauren, had told Officer Coughlin that the purse would normally not be at the residence if Jennifer was not at the residence. So we looked at the purse to see if we could find any information as to where Jennifer might be, and we noticed that on top of the purse there was a spring light type jacket, and inside we noticed a notepad that Officer Blank looked at, and we also noticed that there was a key fob or a set of keys for a Chevy vehicle.
With respect to that Chevy vehicle, did you, well, withdraw that if I can. Did you do anything with those keys?
Yes, those keys were taken from 69 Wells Lane, and we ultimately took them to Lapham Road where the Chevy was located by Captain Walsh.
Where is Lapham Road?
Lapham Road is in the southwestern area of New Canaan, and it borders Waveney Park.
What is Waveney Park?
Waveney Park is a large acreage area in New Canaan. It is a public park that's open to the community, and it has several walking trails, has a dog park, has a swimming pool, has playing fields, so it's a community park.
If I can, I'm gonna show you and direct your attention back to the screen behind you. The state is returning to states 1. Play based on it. The kids states 1, picture marked 11. Do you recognize what's depicted on that photograph, sir?
Yes, it's an aerial photo of a portion of Waveney Park. It also includes Lapham Road.
Would you mind, sir, getting up, if it's okay with the court, if I can have him stand up and just answer a few questions about that screen? If you could, please identify Lapham Road if it's on that photograph.
Lapham Road runs here.
Is Waveney Park depicted on that photograph?
Yes, the area of Waveney Park is this area here, the open fields and wooded area. And the property also crosses Lapham Road over here. This area here is a mulch pile. The town of New Canaan Public Works collects leaves and they mulch them in this area here. We went to this area here on the southern shoulder of Lapham Road.
Why did you go there?
Captain Walsh located the black Chevy Suburban that Jennifer Dulos drives.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yes, a Chevy key fob out of a purse located at 69 Wells Lane.
It's one, picture 12. Sir, if you could take a look behind you. Depicted in that photograph.
Yes.
What is it?
That is the area of Lapham Road that I just described, the pull-off parking spaces. That is the southbound shoulder.
Okay. When you say southbound shoulder, is that if you, well, could you just explain it with direction of the Merritt Parkway? Perhaps if you can stand up again, I'm sorry, but show where would the direction of the Merritt Parkway be in relation to this photograph?
So the black Chevy Suburban in this picture is pointing in the direction of the Merritt Parkway. So as the Lapham Road travels towards Merritt Parkway, the Chevy Suburban is parked on the right-hand side of the road.
Did the vehicle look like that when you arrived that night?
Yes.
Did you, what did you do when you got to Lapham Road?
We were looking for a missing person, Jennifer Dulos. Officer Blank and myself checked the trail that runs parallel to the Merritt Parkway. We walked look on the trail looking for anything that would lead us to the missing person.
Okay, when you say parallel to the Merritt Parkway.
Officer Blank and myself walked on a trail parallel to the parkway in this area.
At some point, did you return to 69 Wells?
Yes.
Did you go into Waveney Park, by the way, at any point besides that walk on that you just described?
No.
Okay. When did you return to 69 Wells?
After the canine conducted a search in the area of Lapham Road and Waveney Park, no track was able to be established. So I was instructed to go from Lapham Road with a canine handler back to Wells Lane to see if we could do a search from that location.
Did you follow the canine into Waveney Park or anything like that?
No.
Okay. So when you returned to 69 Wells, did you return with Officer Blank?
No.
And what did you do when you returned to 69 Wells?
Myself and the canine handler from Wilton Police Department arrived at 69 Wells. I used that code that was provided to open that garage door, and we entered the garage. The canine handler stated he needed a scent item in order to conduct a search for the missing person, Jennifer Dulos. I knew there was a spring jacket located on top of the purse, so we went to that location, grabbed that spring jacket.
What'd you do with the jacket?
The canine handler placed it in the middle of the driveway for his canine to get a scent.
Now, did the canine conduct a search?
It did.
Okay. Did you have play any role in connection with that search?
No, I stayed in the driveway.
What did you do? Well, strike that. Did you go inside the garage again?
Yes,
Yeah. Did you make any further observations in the garage?
yes.
What did you observe?
When we entered the garage, we went on the right side of the vehicle, the black SUV, a Range Rover. On the right passenger side of the vehicle, on the floor, I observed what appeared to be a footprint, reddish in color, could have been a footprint of blood.
Recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes.
Here, I'm gonna scroll in. What is that?
It appears to be a toe portion of a footprint. And
Is that what you observed in the garage that night?
yes,
Did you make any other observations?
yes. To the right side of that garage, as you enter the garage door, there was garbage cans. On the exterior of the garbage can near the lid, there appeared to be a red color that appeared to be blood.
And anything else?
Not that I can recall at this time.
I'm gonna show you two more photographs if I can. Sir, if you could take a look behind you. States 1, photograph 8. Do you recognize what's depicted in that?
Yes. Appears to be drops on the rear portion, the rear left or driver's side of that vehicle, drops on the concrete floor.
And one more, please, states 10. I'm sorry, states 1, photograph 10. Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes. It appears to be an area of the concrete floor that appears to be smeared, pinkish, reddish in color, as if something was cleaned up.
Did you, after making these observations, did you convey them to anybody?
Yes, I notified the shift commander, Lieutenant Ogrins, and Captain Walsh, who was still on Lapham Road with the Chevy Suburban.
What did you do next, if anything?
Detective Officer Patton arrived at 69 Wells Lane. It was determined that that location was going to be a crime scene, and the shift commander notified the state police.
Why the state police?
Their crime investigations.
May I ask, does New Canaan have a crime scene unit?
We have an investigative unit, but we don't have the capabilities that the state police has.
In what way?
Limited resources.
Okay. And did the state police come out to 69 Wells that night?
Yes.
Did you have any further, did you do anything else that night?
Yes. Later on in the evening, while still at 69 Wells Lane, I believe it was around 11:30 p.m., I conducted a neighborhood canvass, which means I go door to door, just seeing if I can find any information in regards to whatever the case is we're investigating. I did speak to a few neighbors. I was also looking for any cameras that residences might have, whether it's a Ring camera by the door or security footage cameras on any houses or residences.
Did you download any video cameras or anything that night?
No.